I'm going to post these comments at the start of the video because I got all the way to the end of the video, started editing, and realized I forgot a few things. So I'm going to show you some more tools at the beginning and then move on into the main part of the video. So speaking of saws, I made this bow saw back some time ago. It could also be used as for cutting out plates. Just thought I'd show you that. It's a Gramercy bow saw kit. I already had the curly maple, so the only thing I really purchased was the blade and the pins. And so anyway, there's a bow saw, and when I was showing my gouges, I forgot to mention this one. This is my biggest gouge. I like that it has a fairly long handle and a long distance. I use this one for roughing out the top plate and the back plate. It's not the best gouge in the world, but it works okay. It's an antique that I found on eBay. And I was asked about this. This is like a sort of a contour gauge. I cut a slit right here so that it has some flexibility and drill to hole the right size for a pencil. And that's a toilet bowl screw. And oops, the camera's wiggling. And so that's just sort of an anvil that rests on the inside surface of the plate before it's hollowed out while it's still flat. And you can measure the distance. You can set the distance by using this wing nut, and you can adjust the distance of the pencil from that, and then tighten it up and use it to draw contour lines around the plate. That one's a little on the large size. I could have made it smaller, but it works okay. I also made a homemade caliper, or thickness caliper, I purchased the dial caliper and made this wooden framework to hold it. An old hacksaw blade for a lever, and it works okay. With it being made of wood, with changes in humidity, it tends to get out of alignment, but you can adjust it. I also have an adjustable screw here. Another toilet bowl bolt. So there's a couple of homemade tools. When you build a violin, you're also going to need a mold or a form to shape the ribs. So I made a copy of Stradivari's P form. This was Baltic birch plywood. I stripped a layer off each side and laminated it with curly maple veneer. And Antonio Stradivari, the P form. So that's a tool that you would need for building. So that's just a few things that I forgot to mention earlier when I was first recording the video. There's one more gouge that I have. It's slightly spoon shaped. I've been using that one around the curls, around the spirals of the scroll. It's still really larger in diameter or curvature than I would like for the eye. I would really like to get a smaller diameter gouges that would match the curvature of the eye of the scroll. But I make do with that. It works okay. So I'm going to show some of my tools. These are the two main thumb planes that I use. These are ibex. This one has a 12mm blade, and this is just a normal blade. I also have a toothed blade that goes with it. And this one has an 8mm blade. Both of these have slightly curved soles. Both of these are Ibex brand. I also have an inexpensive, cheap set of planes from Amazon. These are made in China. They're okay. You could use those, but they're not the best quality. They're usable though. You'd have to sharpen the blade but I don't really use those. Here's the toothed blade that goes with the smaller ibex plane, and I have this one that it must have the toothed blade in it. Does it? Oh no, there it is. Okay, there's the toothing on it. I couldn't see it from that side, but yeah, that's the toothed blade for the larger plane. So those are the two main thumb planes that I use. I believe as I recall, I used this one during part of my build so far, working on the back plate. But so those are the planes. I also have even though it has a Stanley cap on it, it's a Bailey. Oh, can you see that? Maybe you can barely see it there. Bailey number 4, and that's my workhorse, the all-around go-to do everything plane. If it's razor sharp and has a good flat sole, you can use that to join plates. However, hold on a second. However, I also have this monster. This is a record number 6, and that's a really good joining plane for joining the plates. But if you don't have one of those, you can use a smaller one like this. Moving right along, I also have shown my purfling cutter in another video, so I won't go into that much. I have 4 blades, 2 for cutting, 2 for marking. Also, I have some homemade, I've made those out of O1 tool steel, some homemade knives. I blunted the tip on that one because I needed one with a blunt tip, and also I made this one that has a sharp tip. And I like to have a curved one also. That's a burnisher for sharpening scrapers. And I make homemade scraper. I purchased large size card scrapers, and then I cut them into whatever shape I need. I needed a small, slightly curved edge, and of course you burnish them with a burnisher. The 2 main gouges that I use these are Feel brand. This is a number 5. It has a slightly more curvature than this one, which is, no, I'm sorry, that's the flatter of the 2. This is a number 7, which has slightly more curve. I don't know if you can see that, but those are the 2 gouges that I use most. Some other tools that are needed in building a violin or various types of files. I really like these Subos. They're what are they called? Subosan. I don't know if I'm probably not pronouncing that right. These Japanese files, those work really well, and a selection of needle files. The half round files get the most use because they're just versatile. You have a flat side and a round side. What else should I talk about? Obviously, you need something to sharpen gouges with and all that. For sawing out plates, I usually use a benchtop band saw, but the drive belt broke, so it's out of commission. I use it for sawing out let me show you that. I use it for sawing out the plates and the neck, and also I have a tabletop drill press for drilling the peg holes in the peg box. If you don't have a band saw, you can use a coping saw. I have the normal size coping saw, and I also have one with the deep throat, so that has plenty of room for a large violin plate. And the blade is loose, but that's okay. So those are some of the tools that I use. Probably the most important one, because I'm old and I can't see well, is one of these. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to build a violin without one of those. And I guess that wraps it up for now. Obviously you need for your tools, you need sharpening stones. I have some diamond plate stones from Amazon. They're not very expensive, but they're pretty good quality. And that wraps it up for now. So if anyone has any questions about what other tools I use, I'll make another video or post some comments. Here's a little progress on the scroll. I'll wrap it up with this, with a look at the scroll. So I've got, that was a somewhat, almost finished side. I'm still working on this side, which will appear in the next video. And then I'll continue on from there. So, all right. Thanks for watching.